First of all, I would like to say welcome to our booth for the interview. We have guests from Oregon Teknoloji, General Manager Selçuk Yılmaz. And first of all, Mr. Yılmaz, could you please introduce your company to us, to our listeners?
Oregon has founded in 2011 to provide services for logistics industry, especially for road transport industry. And the main activity is providing transit guarantees in line with NCTS rules all over Europe. And other types of services also we are providing to the transport operators.
You have the coverage for all Europe for the services?
Our main activity is transit guarantee. That means the companies who needs customs transit operations in Europe is applying to us, and we provide them the customs clearance transit. It's not clearance, but in total, for example, one company who needs to enter into the European territory should have a guarantee to tax authorities of their countries. So we are providing such guarantees, because that means one company, for example, needs 6, 7, 10 million euro guarantee, and this is not possible to cover all these financial guarantees. But we have more than now 300 million Turkish lira guarantee, and we provide this to Turkish companies.
And how was it, these services before? It's part of digitalization, right?
Yes.
And how was it before these services was provided, and how is this now?
It was in the past. It was done by Tirkane system. It's a paper-based system on which all the customs authorities are interconnected through the Tirkane mechanism. After the 1990s, European countries formed an international agreement, and with this agreement they allow all the transport operators to lodge their own guarantees to the customs authorities of their own countries. So then no need for the Tirkane. After all this happening with the IT technology, and the messages are electronic and digital. For example, now our system can be used by smartphone. So it's possible to make a declaration through a smartphone and send it to all over Europe, and more than 3,000 customs offices of Europe. That was in the past through paper-based, and it's time-consuming, you know. Now all the transport stakeholders are having the advantage of being so digital in terms of customs business.
Much more easy, yeah.
Much more easy and much more secure in that term. Because, you know, in the past you can make this paper fraud. You know, it's possible to make such kind of things, but now it's not possible.
And could you inform us about your position in the market? I mean, you have competitors, or how it is going, the situation?
Actually, Oregon is not only a company. It is also so-called cooperative structure. We have local companies also, and we started to, in Gaziantep, we started our first company through the participation of 40 transporter shareholders. And what we are trying to do is to make all the parties to be a part of our business. And one side we are offering them the services, and the other side they are also benefiting from the services as an owner of the company. So the system in that manner have no competition. It's not possible to be compete with yourself. You know, it's not possible. So we will do this in 2020. I think 4 or 5 cities in Turkey. So we would like the all transport operators and customs consultants to be a part of our company.
It's going to be a cooperative structure, right?
Yeah, it's in legal terms, it's a company. But it's a logical understanding. It is something participating, like a corporation.
And how was the year? I mean, it was a tough year, 2019, for the transporters, for everybody actually. And how can you evaluate the year and the coming year from your side?
Yeah, we have grown more than 3 times when you compare to last year.
Oh.
So I think that will be the same ratio in the next year. So as we are working in such an innovative way, and it's an unusual and mostly innovative. We are not doing the classical terms of business. For example, we rent 45-foot containers to the transport operators, and we are in the first market. For example, what we do is we are opening digital transit operations from Greece. This is first time in the sector. When you do these first things in the sector, you are easily to grow. So what we are planning is to grow much more in next year. So we are not in parallel with the economic, structure. We are just growing up.
And what was it exactly? You provide a container, high containers. How is it working? I mean, you giving the boxes, or you just give the lines or the systems you provide? How is this working?
These 45-foot containers are used as a truck. It's same in terms of capacity. So some companies are preferring it. Some companies are structuring their business in intermodal. So we are providing containers for both of them. Some intermodal companies are renting container from us, and they are using it, and they can use them forever. It's not. Some companies are like trucking companies. They are trying to. They would like to try. How can we do if we make the transportation through container, not by truck? They try. Some, after trying, some are very much liked it, and they would like to increase the number of containers. They can buy themselves. They are trying. They are continuing to rent from us. So we are just giving the chance to companies to try such a new understanding in terms of road transportation, especially to Europe, because of the RoRo lines are now accepting the 45.
And the railway also, right?
Yes, and also railway.
And intermodal transport is growing, right?
Intermodal transport is growing, but intermodal transport is actually in reality based on RoRo. And because the railway is okay, but railway is not easy process. And but the RoRo is when you compare to railway, 10, 15 times much more capacity for daily understanding. This, I think, in the future, not too much time, after very close, in a very near future, the intermodal companies will transfer themselves as a RoRo company. That will be the future of intermodality, because it is not only to lodging something into the container. It is, you need two very good functioning ports. One is in Turkey, more than one, and one in Trieste or wherever.
Sure.
So that will be, the port should have the capacity to handle all these containers first, then should have the capacity to take them into the train. And the trains should be also function well, and they should be daily, they should have no problems, delaying, it should be the delivery times strict. It should be strict. So that will be The future of intermodality is to be a rural company, to be a railway company. It should be in that way. Otherwise, intermodality will be now, I think, coming to its limits, in my opinion.
Thank you very much for your valued opinions. And do you?
We don't drink tea.
Yeah, we forget.
We're just
Always
talking, but no tea.
Any other new services coming up for the near future, next year?
Yes,
let's say?
what we will do is we are working on a fleet management software. We will provide to our transport operators a very interesting and unusual system to monitor their flows and to have a practical software for their needs. I think that will be ready in the first half of 2012, and then 2020.
Sure.
And then I think that will be our future plan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.